Hey, 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 welcome back to another edition of the Gargoyles Den Diecast. I'm Gargoyle, of course, and today we're going to be doing a dual build, imagine that. But they kind of have something to do with each other, so yeah, it didn't make sense to make two videos for them. I'm going to be doing this one for the Dibs Wolf build for Invitational for November. What is the date it's due? It's due November 5th, I believe? Yes, November 5th. And it's any wolf-related vehicle. So that is going to be this, this will be another one that's going in the diorama, kind of the whole Halloween themed thing. So that one is that. And then this is going to be for Native American Heritage Month, which is the month of November. This is for my wife for her work, where she works at. She's into the Native American heritage, and she's on several groups and stuff through her work for things like that. And she just thought it'd be kind of a nice gesture if I were to do something like that for her. So, anything that's important to her is important to me, so I'm going to do that. We're going to make this beautiful in the end. As you can see, it's been kid painted. I mean, it's totally covered. Whoever did it. Para-E-Medic on this side. It has an extra I in there or something. And then it's P-A-R-I on this side. It doesn't have the second A. I don't know. They were trying, though. They were trying to make it a paramedic vehicle. That's obviously what it was originally, but it's going to become a Native American heritage vehicle. So let's go ahead and get to crack-a-lacking and get these apart. Do my center punch here so I can use my shielded drilling. This is kind of an extra precautionary. I could probably get away without it with using the shielded drilling because it centers itself, but it still makes me feel a little better. There you go. Shielded drilling. Now let me explain this a little better, because I had somebody ask me in one of my recent videos when I was trying to explain this. It's shielded drilling. It's because of this. As you can see, there's a drill bit in there. And then this pulls back as you're pushing down, and that's how it centers the bit. It centers it using this. And then the bit comes out the end, and that's what's going into your dimple, making your little pilot hole, which is what we just did. These are called VIX bits, V-I-X. And I use a 5/64. You can use a 7/64 if you want, but I do a lot of red lines, which have the smaller posts, so I use the 5/64 for everything. Once you get used to using the smaller one for everything, big ones are a piece of cake. So, just a little tip. And there you can see. Now this one only has the one post in the bag, and it's already got a center dimple or whatever. So, yeah, we don't have to actually mark it. We just drill it out. There we go. Alright, let's get the last little ring off of those. Using a little drop of oil on them. Metal ones aren't so bad, but these plastic bases, I know. I say it all the time. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. Because it's so easy to damage them. We're just wanting to get that last little ring off without tearing up the plastic as much as you can. If you do tear up the plastic, there's ways to fix it, but obviously that's extra work we don't want to have to deal with. So, yeah, just go real slow here. until you think you have enough to where you can pop it off. I'm probably going to have to go a little deeper on this one. I'm being very cautious, as you can tell. Okay, I think that's probably deep enough. Let's do a little gentle persuasion here, see if we can get it up under there. There we are. Obviously, gonna change the wheels. Can't do the plastic wheels. Not gonna happen. That is a putrid, pinky colored interior. That's probably gonna change. Go black or something. Silver, maybe gray. They would all go. Not a big fan of the yellow glass, but it is what it is. Could always tint it if I wanted to, but I guess it's going to depend on what color I end up going with the body, because I don't want to make the whole car black. I got a whole bunch of black already involved in these cars. So we'll have to see what I come up with on that. Let's go ahead and, before I forget, let's do our little bit of filing here. This one's... We're going to have to cheat on this one. What's that? Cheat? Well, not exactly. Like I say, I always keep a wide range of these bits, different types of bits for the Dremel, and this is exactly why. Come on. I'll show you here as soon as I take this. The problem, if you look at this, when you go to file the post, you can't get to the post with the regular flat file because it's all down here below this. So yeah, this isn't going to do me any good in this one. Usually you can get to the post no problem. So instead, I'm going to use this Dremel and the bit, and because I've got this space here, I can get to it now. And there we go. Now we're prepped for our post. I still have a little bit of a dimple there, so I can still drill it. And that car's ready to go. We'll drill it, and it's off to regurgitation juice. Let's go ahead and get this one drilled out. What am I doing? I already did this. There you go. Let's try this again. And that's what I was talking about, going slowly, so you get just enough to where you don't damage anything. That's what I love about the metal bases. It's so much easier. And let's just be honest, a metal-based car is going to last a lot longer than a plastic-based car no matter what, so... And no, I'm not pulling the trigger all the way on the drill. That's why it's sounding like that. I'm not pulling it all the way back. It doesn't have full power. I'm just trying to twist off enough to get the metal off so that I can do that. Glass is in good condition. We'll clean it up. I'll toss it in some Zep degreaser. Wheels, obviously, we're going to cut those off. Toss this over in the Zep. And this, since I've already got the Dremel out and set up for it, goodness, I don't like that. If you look here, it's awful close to the front there. So what I'm going to do, the way to fix that is I'm going to grind this all the way down to this flat part here. It's going to take all that out, and then I can just recenter it with the center punch. And then I'll have the dimple I need. The back one's fine, but the front one we're going to go ahead and fix. You see, now you basically have a perfect post to work with. We just take our center punch, line it up in the center of it again. And there we go. I have my dimple for my drill bit, for my drill press. So I'm going to take these out of the drill press, drill them, and then they're off their regurgitation juice. I'm not doing any modifications to it, so we'll come back and polish them up a little, and then it's going to be right back to paint. So that's going to be it for that. This is going to be cleaned up and off to paint. This can go in the Disassembly greaser. Even though probably doesn't need him, it's a pretty new casting, but whatever, you know. These are coming off. They're going in the garbage. Because ain't nobody got time for plastic wheels. These, let's screw out of my way. Alright, let's see if, man, this cutoff thing's getting awful small. I'm getting where I can't even get into them anymore. I don't care about these tires, so we're going to work on creating a new small one. Do that so the new axles drop in real easy. Get rid of these. This is going to be going in the 50-50 mix of CLR and water here in just a moment. And because it's only been a day or two since I used it, it still has water in it. It's not all dehydrated out of it yet. So just set that up there. And drop this in, make sure there's enough. Oh yeah, there's just enough water in it to actually cover it. And I might add just a little more. There we go. You want to make sure it's well covered. Alright, we'll let that sit there. I'm going to go ahead and go drill these on the drill press. And, well, let's go ahead and toss this in the Disassembly greaser as well because it's pretty dirty. So we'll get it clean before we paint it. Let's toss it in here as well. That's all it is, straight Disassembly greaser. You just put it in there and let it. It only takes 5-10 minutes. This stuff's so powerful that if I was to toss this chrome base in, literally 10 minutes from now I could take it back out and this would be black or white, whatever color it was when it was cast, instead of the chrome. So yeah, this stuff's great. Super Clean does the same thing. I prefer Super Clean for some reason. Alright, take these over and drill these out, and off to the regurgitation juice, and then we'll be back. Stay tuned. Alright, we are back from the regurgitation juice. Oh wait, look. That's a different camera angle. And the ever-growing quest to provide better video, I changed the camera angle a little bit. When this camera has autofocus, every time I would move my hands or something, or even sometimes when there was a shadow flicker, it would try to refocus. It would look like it had Tourette syndrome or something. It would just like keep doing that. Yeah, it was annoying the hell out of me. So while this stuff was sitting in the regurgitation juice, I decided to play with it and move it around a little bit. Eventually I'm going to get a better camera anyway, but for now, you know, this is what I've got. I've got to deal with it. So I just make it the best that I can. Alright, so let's get back to this. As you can see, the regurgitation juice had a rough time with this one. I don't know what this paint was, but yeah, it is fighting to the end, trying to stay on. It's scraping off. It's not on real well. It'll come off with the wire brush. No problem, but yeah, it was fighting. This one, on the other hand, came off pretty well, you know. This will shine up pretty well once we wire brush it. I need to, before I forget, because I know I will, I want to hit this front windshield. There's a big divot right here that needs to come off there. I know I'm going to forget it if I don't do it now. There we go. Yeah, it looks much better. Take a gander at the back. Oh. Usually the back is atrocious, and this one it's actually pretty close. I'm still gonna clean up just a hair. And the rest of that should smooth down. Alright, let's go ahead and get these wire brushed. I think we're good to go. Alright. He's gonna go take a bath in some isopropyl alcohol, clean up my mess here, and then we'll be off to the paint booth. Stay tuned. Okay, I lied again. I'm sorry. I don't mean to lie to people. I really don't. But I couldn't leave it the way it was. I mean, yeah, we're doing this. It's going to have the custom decals for the Native American Heritage theme for my wife. So that's taken care of. This one, we're doing the Wolfman Invitational for dibs. And yeah, I mean, it was a black car to start with. I should have just taken the graphics off the side and just left the black paint and thrown a decal on it and called it done. And that's basically what I'm doing. I was going to paint this black. I was going to put decal on the back, and that was basically going to be it. I could have just shortcutted it all and just removed the decal and put a new decal on and been done with it. But that's not the gargoyle way. We know this. And then just sitting here looking at it, I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't chop the top. I don't have anything going on with the back end. I didn't make like a rumble seat or anything. There's no pipes sticking out anywhere. There's no motor sticking out anywhere. No motor sticking out here. What the hell am I doing? I do hot rods and stuff. So, we're going to figure this out. Now, a little glimpse into the creative madness sometimes. This is a future project that I've been putting off for a month or two now. But I think I want to do it for the February upcoming dibs build of beetles, love bugs. I've always hated this motor on the back of this, especially this giant freaking snorkel looking crap on it. Can't stand it. But in the interest of a love bug, to remove that motor and mash it up with, say, this antennae looking style motor, to put that on the love bug, hey, you'd really have a bug, right? So that's a future build. So then, in that thought, I was like, oh, well, this is a pretty nice motor. But this is an all metal motor all the way down. Would really be good for like a T-bucket hot rod style or something. So I talked myself out of using that one. But that's a future build. Stay tuned. So then I looked around my parts bin and I came up with these two. I had ordered this. This is from Second Chance Redlines. They have 4 or 5 different versions that you can order from. They're cheap. They're like 50, 75 cents. Totally worth it if you don't have a 3D printer and you just want to order some for modifying parts. There you go. And, I mean, that would work. I can modify it a little bit and make it work. But it's kind of, it's all squared and rectangled and, you got a bunch of angles and curves on this car, so I didn't like that one. But I found this one. This one has curves to it. It's got the square off front end, It's got angles. This is going to come off of it. So yeah, it'll sit back about there. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. That's not going to take a whole lot of modifications or anything. I thought about lowering it a little bit, but I think it looks just fine the way it is. I'm just going to take that back part off. We're going to attach it and put a little bit of Tamiya putty around the bottom edge to kind of mold it together. And then we'll be off to paint. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. You'll see the results when it comes back from me. So I'm off to do it. I'll take care of it, one way or another. Because where there's a will, there's a way. And today my name is Will. Alright, I'm back from paint. And don't normally show this part. And I've been trying to concentrate on showing different things every video. So I was going to show the decal that I'm going to do on this. You can see the paint that I've done. I am going to chrome the motor, obviously, but that's going to be the last thing because, as we all know, molto to chrome takes forever to cure, so I'll chrome it and I'll put it in the dehydrator and let it sit there for a while to try and get it to cure. So yeah, that'll be the last step I do on it after I've put the decal on and done more gloss coats and stuff. This is the decal I've went with. As you guys have heard, my little fiasco with the printer and decals and stuff, so yeah, I'm kind of limited. But one of the things I did want to show everybody or talk about is selecting your decals. Obviously, you need to go higher resolution in order to avoid the pixelation, which is part of my problems right now. If you look really close, this does have some pixelation, but it's not really noticeable unless you're like up close. Nobody's going to be looking that close. And by the time you gloss it and everything, yeah, it's going to blur out most of that pixelation, so this picture will look fine. Now the problem is, it's going on the back of this car, which as you can see is rounded. And it's got a slight bit of rounded the other way too, but it's mostly this way. So what you're going to have is when you go to try to do both curves, it's going to be like a piece of paper and you're going to have wrinkles and it's not going to want to lay down right. So the way you do that is you round off the corners. Now when I picked this particular image out, I'll turn around this way so you guys can see it better. You'll notice I picked something that was darker on the edges in kind of a circular style pattern. I did that because obviously laying down circles on the circle, it's going to be able to lay down a little better once we put the Microsoft microset on it. So that's the next step is we got to cut out the circular pattern on here. Now, you cut that by hand if you wanted to, which I do sometimes. I did that, say, on this werewolf fan just because of the irregular shape. It wasn't a perfect circle on this side because of the moon, and then the body, and then this side it was farther over because of the arm. So yeah, a perfect circle wouldn't have looked right. I still don't know if it looks all that green. It worked. I like it. So yeah, one of the ways that I do this is I ordered a set of drawing templates. These plastic templates. These are awesome for doing decal cutting. I got all of these different templates. It was off Amazon. You see the name is Jinshou, Jinshou. I got all these different ones, all these different shapes. You can make your own shapes and stuff. It gives you lines and stuff. It shows you how to do different 3D boxes and stuff. I mean, as you can see, I have so many that I haven't even used. These are the main two I've used so far. I paid $11.99, I think it was, for all of these. Yeah, so yeah, if you get into trying to do your own decals and stuff, there's a little tip for you. Something to get to help you out. Alright, so that's going to be that. I painted the interior of this car. It is now a tan instead of that ugly flesh pink color. I figured the tan would go a little bit better. I thought about doing details on it, but you're not really going to see any of them. So yeah, I didn't mess with it. I thought about making this a wood grain steering wheel. But yeah, it's such a small detail, I don't think anybody would notice. Maybe on the next one I do. Still need to put wheels on. Now for the bad news. Obviously, I was working on 2 builds in this video. Well, the super van is a fail. Let me show you multiple reasons why. Boom. Doesn't look bad, right? From a distance. Until you get up close and see how pixelated it really is. And you realize, oh, that's supposed to be a dream catcher hanging on his neck. Oh, is that what that is? And then the side pictures, which look great from a distance also. I think part of this also is that I'm not happy with the decal selection, so to speak. The wife likes wolves, so that's why she chose these kind of decals. But we both agreed after I did it that this isn't really a Native American heritage themed vehicle. I'm sorry, it's not. It's a wolf themed vehicle, but wolves do play an integral part of the Native American heritage. But it's not representative. At least in my opinion, it's not representative of Native American heritage. So, with that being said, here, let me show you the side picture. It's 4 wheels running. It looks okay from a distance, but then, of course, once you get up close, here we go. See if it focuses in a little. Once you get up close, it's pixelated, though. So, yeah. And, for some reason, I don't know if you can see this or not. When you get up close, yeah, you can see right there, the bottom of the decal started lifting for some reason. I should have cut it up closer to the body line, I guess. Maybe lifted them up a little higher so it was right on the body line. But yeah, the bottom lifted on this one side. The tops and stuff all laid down fine, and another gloss coat or two, you never would have been able to tell, but that bottom lifted for some reason. I don't know if it just had a little bit of water under it still or what. Now, I could have just went ahead and stripped this all and repainted it, and you never would have known that. But I've told you guys, I'm very upfront. You don't always like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Type of person, and I'm going to show you when I make a mistake. And yeah, this is a mistake. This is a fail. Huge fail. On multiple levels. I mean, not only the lifting, but just the fact of the design is not what it needs to be. So, yeah, this is going back to the stripper, and that will be a separate video later on, because technically I have the whole month of November to do this. I just kind of wanted to have it done by today so that, you know, it was the start of the month. Again, that's the undue time constraints I put on myself sometimes that are unnecessary. And I had stressed to myself doing it, and I don't know why I do it, but I do. So, alright, that's the bad news. So that one will be continued on in a separate video. So let's get back to this one. Let's go ahead and get this cut out. Let's find out what we're going to do here. I don't really want a total circle. So I'm thinking we're going to go with an oval of some sort. Let's see how big we can get here. Now when I say oval and you see me doing this, I'm talking about the sides of the cut. Remember, I wanted to kind of stay in that dark area. I'm not talking about the top and the bottom yet. We'll kind of round off as much as we can into those after with a pair of scissors. But yeah, I think I want more. I want to get as far out that side as possible without going into the white. Right about there, I'm thinking. And it looks pretty good. Here, let me scoot this up here so you guys can actually see a little better. I'm just going to... Now when you do this, make sure you're cutting straight up and down. You're not digging into the plastic because that will throw you off. And you don't have to press real hard. I mean, as long as you have a sharp blade, you should be able to just... do something like that, and then do the other side. Okay. Just like that. So now you got your sides cut out, but you still have the darker on the edges, which will blend in with the dark paint when you put it on. Now we want to round off that top and that bottom a little bit. I'm going to use a pair of scissors for that. Yes, I know this is a big old honking pair of scissors, but they're nice all metal ones, and I haven't got a small Burcraft ones yet. I want to get a small pair of metal ones similar to this for this kind of things. But hey, they work, and they're what I have. So now we want to do some kind of rounding off down here of some sort. And yes, I could probably look through my things and find, you know, the perfect round off thing for down here, but you know, it's not hard to do. This corner, so round that just a hair. Just like so. Do the same thing to the top. There we go. And This is where my OCD comes in. This is why I don't normally show this very often. It's a trip down the madness. But yeah, I think that'll pretty much work. That's what we come up with. So yeah, I mean, it's a process when you're doing these decals. You got to kind of think ahead and think of things like that. One of the things that I've been struggling with is, you know, the white toner issue, which this is on a white toner backer. So yeah, that's why it's going to show up so well on this. If I would have tried to do this on a clear, as soon as we put it on, the one thing you would have saw maybe would have been part of the moon. Everything else would have been gone. Maybe a little white shadow. You might have caught just a glimpse of it. But yeah, not much. Alright. Alright, let's move this stuff out of the way. Put these back. Garbage. Grab water for the decal. Brush, Microsoft microset. This on before I cut myself. Alright, I need this. Alright. Shown this before in other videos, but Microsoft microset. Now, the thing is, when you use these, it's gonna affect everything it touches as far as the paint and stuff. So you don't want to get, especially on a dark paint like this, I don't want to get it slopped all. You're gonna see, you know, watermarks and everything else left over from the chemical reaction to the paint if you do that. So when you're doing a dark paint like this, you kind of want to be careful. This says it improves adhesion and softens decals, but it doesn't soften nearly as much as this does. This is what blends it in with the door lines, the trunk lines, you know, wherever you're putting the decal, roof lines, etc. This is the one that's going to do that. This is the one that you use first, and the main thing is it improves the adhesion. If you do just water on this and put the decal on, you're going to have a hell of a time because that decal is going to want to keep moving around until you get that water out, all squeezed out from underneath it. And it's going to be hard to do that without, you know, messing it up a little bit. So in this case, this is one of the times that I definitely use microset. If I was just doing a flat surface, then yeah, you can go with just water, and it would make it a lot easier for you because you can move the decal around as needed, etc. Using this, you can't not move the decal as much, and you have to be very quick because as it softens it, you're going to start deforming the decal if you keep trying to move it around. So yeah, it's pretty much lay it down, smooth it, and leave it, and that's it. Which is hard for me to do, as you're about to see, I'm sure. But I'm going to do it. So, I do put a little bit of water on beforehand. Water, we ain't got to worry about doing anything. It's not going to hurt it, obviously. Okay. A little damp. Then we take a little bit of the microset. Like I said, I don't want too much because I don't want it running all over the car. Drop your decal in water for 10-15 seconds. Now I've noticed with this decal paper that I have, the white, you have to let it sit in the water a lot longer with white backed paper than you do the clear backed. Because it doesn't seem to want to release from the paper as much. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's just the nature of the beast. I just kind of noticed it lately. There you go. Get it started sliding off. Down here. Like, remember what I said, we kind of want to get this as close as possible. Like so. Turn that around so you guys can see better. Sorry, I had to have it facing towards me while I did it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that smoothed out. And I think we'll be good to go. Get that water dried out from underneath the decal and it'll be ready for gloss. Provided I don't mess it up doing this. No pressure or anything there, girl. Okay. Alright, now this is where I differ from the directions. I don't know how other people will do it, and they do it. They say to put another layer of microset over the top of this before you go onto the microsaw. I don't normally do that. The few times I have tried doing that, it can actually move the decal. And with the decal already getting soft, you trying to get that decal back in place? No. So it doesn't make sense to me. So instead, I go straight to the actual microsaw over the top, and it doesn't tend to move the decal. So do that real quick, and you'll see that. And once again, we don't want too much. We don't have to worry about it too much because, you know, all we're doing is melting it into the trunk panel. There's not lines on this one, so I'm not trying to melt it into the line. So yeah, let's just do light coat. Just enough to get it all the way to the edges, whatever, so you can melt the edges. Now we're just going to let it sit for a while. Well, you know me, I'm always in a hurry. I'm going to go throw it in the dehydrator. I'll let it sit for a few minutes here and get softened up and stuff, and then I'll throw it in the dehydrator to get the water out from underneath the decal so that I can go ahead and get it glossed. We'll be using some of Diecast Graveyard's 2K Clear on it. So yeah, that's going to give us a nice high gloss on it. It should be beautiful. So stay tuned. Alright, I'm back. Got the decal all done. Got her all glossed up. Looks actually pretty damn good. You know, considering my decal limitations right now, I'm definitely happy with it. So we got that. Unfortunately, you know, the other build, told you guys I was giving up on it. I was just going to do another video. I couldn't leave well enough alone. And I tried to push, even though I had the time restraints, and I made a mistake, and basically I wasted my time. I did come up with other decals. I did a couple different scenes. You can't tell now because this has already been sprayed with the regurgitation juice again. It's ready to be scraped off. But yeah, when I went to put the gloss on, I used a spray gloss instead, trying to be quick. And yeah, it reacted with the paint that I used, which was Rust-Oleum, and I knew that it was going to do that, and I didn't remember it. I know it does that. That's why I hate Rust-Oleum. I don't normally use Rust-Oleum, but it was a little bit I had left in a can that was left over, and I just used it and didn't think about it because I was in such a rush. So it's my own fault. I can't really blame it on anything else, other than Rust-Oleum's shit, but everybody knows that already. So I was going to try and push through and do that one anyway. Like I always say, you got to be your own quarterback. You call an audible. Well, I'm still calling audibles on that one. I'm not giving up on it. So, all right, let's get this taken care of though, because right now I am under the gun. It is 6:30 on Saturday night, and I'm supposed to be on a plane at 3 a.m. to go on vacation tomorrow. And of course, this is for the dibs build, which is due on what day? Tuesday? Wednesday? Let me see. Yeah, I need to remove my calendar page now. It's October now. It is due on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm going to be out of town till next Sunday, so I've got to release this video tonight. And I still have to finish this and edit the video and stuff and post it. So, yeah, there's that. Let's get her done. Honestly, not anything we're doing to this. This is already done, so really all we gotta do is put the wheels on here. I did want to show when I did this, because yeah, I see a lot of people do this different ways. And yeah, there's many different ways to skin a cat, so to speak. I've seen people take their side nippers and actually cut the plastic tab. I don't like doing that. I know it may sound stupid, but every extra little bit of plastic that you have helping to hold that axle in place is valuable. Not money-wise, obviously, but I mean, as far as, you know, not having to worry about the wheels popping out later on if, say, a kid gets a hold of it and plays with it or something. So yeah, it's the same when I do the red lines. I'll cut a groove there for the axle, but I'll leave the rest of the metal there. That way the CA glue can actually have something to grab onto instead of just a smooth surface. If you have just a smooth surface, it's not going to do a whole hell of a lot of good. But yeah, instead of cutting them off, I just pry it open like that with a little screwdriver. And now, my wheels will just drop right in. Obviously, we're going to have to shorten up these axles, but you get my point. And then I'll just take them and bend them back down with the end of the thing, and then I'll put the dab of glue on, and the glue with all three of those tabs, and then the axle. Yeah, that axle's not going anywhere. It's set. So yeah, there's just another way of doing it. You know, you don't have to just cut them off. You can just kind of do this. You notice when I took the original ones off, I didn't do all this. I just grabbed them and pulled them off. They're little plastic tabs. If they do break off, it's not a big deal. You're using the glue. You've got the other two tabs to attach to. So you're still okay. So yeah, you just pull the old ones off, and then we'll size these new ones and get them put on. See, this back wheel's pretty skinny too. So yeah, we're going to have to downsize both of them. Alright, get this crap out of my way. Sorry, it's not crap, it's valuable tools of the trades. Yeah, sure. Alright. God, I'm so happy with the way this came out, though. And saw a tip from Mr. Jim Silva on a short recently, where he was doing the same kind of decals like I'm doing, where they have the white backed paper, the white toner back, and what he does is when he cuts it out like this, he goes around the outside with a black or a colored Sharpie or marker, and that keeps that white toner from peeking out underneath the edges as it does sometimes. I've noticed it does that when you're cutting the decal, depending on which angle you have your blade. So if you're cutting a decal around this way and you angle it like this, the white won't show. But if you got it angled out and you're cutting like this instead, then yeah, you're going to show that white toner on the outside and it's going to look like crap. So there's a tip for you. All right, it's oh yeah, this one only had the one. Did I drill that? Yeah, I did. Okay, just had some paint in it. I was like, wait a minute, did I forget to drill? No, I know I drilled it. Okay. Jeez. Let me see. Yeah, it's plastic base. I like to use washers in the plastic bases. Otherwise, it's too easy for you to pull the screw head right through the plastic. I'm being a bonehead, ain't I? See, I'm in such a rush to get this done. I almost forgot the glass. I mean, this particular car, you probably could have got away without putting the glass in. Nobody would have known for sure, but still. Here's our super van glass. Set that over here to the side for a future video. And oh yeah, it was the bright yellow glass. I think it'd be alright with the blue though. It'd be kind of cool. Let's see how she looks. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not overpowering. Not like some of the ones I've seen in bright orange and purple and green. Don't get me wrong, I like those on some cars. It just kind of depends on what the car is and what color scheme you're going with, etc. Right there. I must say, this is very easy reassembly though. There's nothing to it. Oh. Well, that does look sweet. Oh yeah, and it does roll. I was wondering if I was going to have to make any slight body modifications, but yeah, it seems to clear just fine. It definitely looks much better with these wheels than it did with the originals. What did I do? Oh, I did. That's why I don't like the plastic bases. Yeah, you can tighten them down way too tight. You ain't gotta worry about that metal base. There you go, snug. There we go. Okay. There it goes. Alright. Yeah, she's a roller. I don't build them unless they're rollers. If they don't roll, I make them roll. Because, yeah, I don't have time for all that. Alright, so now we have to do some of our multi-chrome details. And I'm going to do that off camera because, yeah, I'll let you see it when I come back. I'm going to brush the motor. You got the vents on each side of the grill here, which I don't know if you can quite see, but yeah, you will see them once I paint them in. They are an extension of the grill. And then, of course, I got the headlights and tail lights. So yeah, go ahead and get that done. And then after that, I will put it in the dehydrator, and once it's dry, we will be back for our turntable reveal. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's take a look. This is what we started out with. As you see, this is both the builds. Unfortunately, the one failed, but we'll get to that one at another time. As soon as I get back from vacation this next week. But yeah, this is what I came up with. Hope you guys like it. If so, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And, stay tuned for future content. I apologize again, this video was so long. Like I said, I'm going to be gone next week for vacation. Or this week, I should say. I'm actually leaving in 5 hours. It is now 10:10 p.m. I'm supposed to be leaving at 3 a.m. So, yeah, I'm kind of pushing this out. But with me being gone the next week, I normally put out 3 videos a week, 15 to 20 minutes a piece. That's an hour a week that I put out. And basically this week is all in one video. For that, I apologize, but with all the extra stuff, the double failure on the Superman and all the decal stuff that I went over, etc., it ended up being a longer video. But hopefully you got something out of it. So, until next time, that's all, folks. Bye now.